There's so many things to be said.
You're a beauty. And
he feels
Jaci
like
YouTube.
he has to tell me that because he's like,
Well,
it's
I'm sorry,
true.
but there are all kinds of allegations always flying, at me all the time. And you know what? Only one of us in this room got a push notification from CNN, and it was not me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, anyway, how are you, Jaci Russo?
I am well, thanks.
I'm a communist.
Good weekend?
It was nice.
Yeah?
It was nice.
It's
I watched
the first,
a little...
summer, right?
It
Summer
is
weekend for your fam.
Definitely summer, and we're embracing it. They were in the pool, even though it was cold and rainy.
Yes.
You love that spirit.
Staying up late, sleeping in. Summer's in full swing.
Summer is here. Camp coming up soon?
Well, Blue Ribbon Camp starts today.
Okay.
And so I have 2 kids who are working that as counselors, and then my kids attend Camp Ozark, and that's at the end of the summer.
Okay.
And
I remember this because last summer you kind of told me about it, and I was like, sorry, Leighton and Blakely, y'all have plans now every summer for the rest of your life. It's where you're going.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's fantastic, and I'm excited for them. This will be Jackson's last year.
Oh, wow.
He ages out.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, he'll actually turn 18 at camp.
Wow.
On the last day. So he's excited about that.
That's cool. So today on the blog, you're talking about 3 touch points of iconic brands that keep them from becoming just trends. Now, the one thing that came to mind just reading that headline is the CocaCola put someone's name, random name generator. Guess what? It's like the clock's right twice a day.
Right.
You put someone's name and you see a Jackie, you're going to buy the Jackie.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to post it on social media. It's the best free marketing campaign ever.
It's pretty genius.
Yeah?
And I said it when they first rolled out. I'm like, it has got legs. It can last forever. As anyone who's ever been to a beach trip and tried to find their name on a keychain, it's awesome.
Because they never had mine.
Right.
And when they did, it was always on the guy's side.
Of
and
course.
It was never Bernadette. There were never any Bernadettes on the girls' side, of course. You could find Bernie occasionally on the men's side. And it was some, camouflage.
Well, so when we hear,
I've had a misspelled name for 47 years. You don't think I have problems?
I get it. I'm with you. I remember in kindergarten, the teacher asking me what my name was when I showed up. And what is your name? And I said that. And she said, boy, that's going to be a lot of letters to spell.
Right.
And it was.
Right.
What's wrong with them people?
Right.
I love that you said I've had a misspelled first name for 47 years.
It's true.
Meanwhile, Bernie's going to go to federal prison for breaking into some old guy's house in Vermont because she wants something from Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
She wants his keychains. I just want his keychains.
I just want those keychains, man.
But that's it. That's a great brand campaign because everybody always looks for their name. And so by putting it out there, they boosted sales dramatically and created quite a social media stir.
Well, it's you can't get any more emotional of a connection to say, this is you,
right.
us.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say, a lot of people kept them on their shelf, but I'm sure people wanted to drink them.
Stop looking at me.
Yeah, Bernie's is right there. It's right by Moon.
It sure is.
She has a Bernadette right out there.
I have a little one.
Well, they made that special for you.
Well, and let's move on to another company. I mean, so you have Coca-Cola. What about Apple? So when you go to Apple, even an Apple store, you are made to feel like it's a club you better feel privileged to be in.
Right.
We're not Walmart.
Right.
Okay, we are clean.
We have to set an appointment.
You have to set an appointment. We don't have cash. We don't have a cashier. We have money drawers, which I just now realized a couple months ago.
How cool is that?
Because they had to move. Something happened where I think I told you about this, where they had to fix a bad customer service blunder, and they kind of had to pay themselves $100 and whatever. So they just pressed this little button, and a cash drawer came out, and I was like, "There's cash in these Apple tables." But
It's
they
magic.
do that connection. There are some people who you could say, look at all these features of this Android phone, and they're going to say, not interested.
You can give them a free one.
Yes.
And they're not going to take it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. They're loyalists to the core. And Apple's really worked it right because not only have they created products and service that have engineered this loyalty, but people take that brand advocacy so far as putting the stickers on their car. I see laptops, PC laptops, all the time that have an Apple sticker covering the Dell or the Microsoft logo.
I'm sure Apple loves that.
I'm sure they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That all adds to it. But these companies have learned that they don't want to just be the 2-week trend.
Right.
They don't want to just be oh, wow. I'm trying to even think of a product even recently that has just been like a trend. They did get lost in it. They get lost in the big campaigns. Budweiser too. Budweiser's one. I mean, you just look at their Super Bowl commercials. They always get you where it hurts.
Absolutely.
Make you want to cry.
It's all about building that connection, that emotional connection. And it's about not being trendy. It's about developing a true connection that lasts no matter what the season, what the time, what the product.
Let's talk about Nintendo. A lot of people don't even realize Nintendo did not even start out as an electronic gaming
It
system.
was before electronics.
Yes.
They go way back to the 1800s.
Weren't they like playing cards?
They
or
were
trading
indeed.
cards?
Yep.
I mean, and it has become a whole new thing. When you say Nintendo, it is kind of funny too how things, take place. Because you say the word Nintendo, all I think is Super Mario Brothers.
Me
Right.
too.
That is a perfect marriage from two companies that probably were, they're now just forever. They're the same.
Right.
One and the same.
But you see, over time, they've managed to evolve. And that's, I think, part of maintaining your brand is not being stuck in something that's old and outdated,
Yeah.
but it's changing with the times, but not in a trendy way. In a natural evolution of your brand. Apple did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had to. I mean, remember when they had no market share and their stock prices in
Yep.
the toilet?
Yep.
And they've evolved and changed with the times. And that's the trick, is really knowing who you are and knowing what your customers need from you.
I have been wanting to ask you this. It was literally on my list while you were in Italy. Because
Yes.
it's something I thought, how I'm following your trip on the other side of the world.
Right.
Okay, on Snapchat. I'm following you on Instagram. I'm
Right.
following you on Facebook. And I'm just seeing it everywhere. It seemed like we went through this really quick period where it was almost like every 6 months, like there was a new social media to be on, and
Right.
like new thing you need to be a part of. So Snapchat was something that when I moved back, okay, so it's 2 years. In 2 weeks, it'll be 2 years since I've been back. Snapchat was something I knew existed, but I wasn't really a part of until my friends here in the building got me involved in it. I'm trying to think, though, since the Snapchat, which I still consider new, kind of like I consider like the Big Bang Theory, like a new show.
Right.
Because it's new to me.
Sure.
And I haven't been watching it for 10 seasons or whatever. But have there been any other, I feel like everything is covered right now. Besides the influx of dating websites, I guess you could say Tinder and Grindr and all those have come up.
But even those are a couple of years old
But
at
even
this
those
point.
are.
right?
What's on the horizon?
It's funny. I was thinking about it. We've been doing Brandbuzz for 9 years now, this radio show. 9 years.
Wow.
Right. And the first
amazing.
3 years, I profiled a new app every week. Every week it was, this is the new app, this is the new app, this is the new app.
Okay.
It's not that in the past 6 years, less apps have been created.
Mm-hmm.
It's that they're not gaining traction because they're not filling a need.
Yeah. See, there was a time probably where every new one that came out, you're like, oh my gosh, I totally needed a photo editor.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I totally need this. And you know what? I'm sure a new photo editor comes out every week.
Constantly.
But you know what? If you set on your one that you like, that's one you stay in. Has the business kind of gone that way as well? Like I have a friend who was working with a couple of investors on this app. It was all meant, now you'll love this because this would be totally something your girls would be into, or even your son too. The whole point, it was to organize like fraternity and sorority or group trips
Okay.
where you can have one app with all the reservations and the itinerary and everyone pay into it. So like a class reunion.
Right.
One app. It has all the information. You pay your fees into it so that it lets the administrator have all the money to book the venue.
Nice.
To book the flights. To book whatever. And it got picked up. I literally remember it was when my first child was born and he came to visit us and he was telling me all about it. And he's like, look, we already have offers from Yahoo. They sold it to Yahoo. And I have never heard anything of it since. I think the marketplace is just so saturated with so many different things. Unless you're specifically looking for group travel or fraternity or sorority events, that kind of thing, you don't know about it because there are so many other ways.
But then you find somebody who does something better than the way it's been done before. So Waiter is the new app.
Okay.
And
Waiter,
they do it
yes.
better than the other delivery services have done
okay.
it before.
Yeah.
And so I think you'll constantly see that invention and that improvement. New apps will bubble to the surface and catch hold.
Do you think Waiter has to worry about Uber Eats? Because in other cities, they already have it.
Right.
So, that does kind of limit where Waiter can expand, but they continue to make it better.
Absolutely.
I love the fact on Waiter where you can actually see the items and put them like in a box. It's not like, press a button and call them.
Right.
You put it all right there. It totals it up. It tallies it up. And then it even has a group where everyone can pitch in,
Right. No, it does everything you want it to do. And that's why it took off where others before it never really gained as much traction.
Very interesting stuff. We're going to post this blog over at kpal965.com. Tell me about the podcast.
Well, it's interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that. The podcast has really started gathering storm. I mean,
Yes.
all of a sudden we've gone from dozens of listeners to hundreds of listeners, and now we're hitting thousands of listeners.
Awesome.
So it's kind of cool, which I'm enjoying that. And then we're launching a new section of the podcast, and I think it launches next week, where it is specifically targeted to B2B companies. Anybody who has a product or service they have to sell to other companies, it's going to be all about how to build your process for lead generation and create a steady flow of new clients.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Great news as always, Jaci Russo. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we're starting a new little feature, kind of Jaci Russo style. We'll see we'll see if it can last 9 years, but that's a lot to live up to.
It is a lot.
But we're going to start a Tech Tuesday segment where a guy who lives here, we're going to talk about like physical tech, like gadgets, like what it's about. And
Smart
one of
home.
them,
That's what I want. Smart home.
Okay, we'll talk about that because one of the things, the whole reason this even came up was because I was asked to pay someone last week on Venmo.
I love Venmo. We use it all the time.
And I said, what is it? And then I realized the whole reason I have Chase is so we can do Chase Quick Pay.
Right.
And you know what? It's that for wherever you are.
Right.
So we're going to talk to our good friend Ryan tomorrow, actually at 7:40, for Tech Tuesday. And
Awesome.
but smart home, that's something that I think a lot of people, it seems like such a big, subject to bite off, and chew on, just because there's so many different parts of it, but it can be easy too. So.
It can be. And I think some people here are kind of starting to put it together and coming up with a plan, because if you are building a new house, it's easy. But if you've got an older house, how do you integrate all this new tech into your existing house? But who doesn't want to be able to control their house from their phone? Open your garage door, turn your lights off and on, control your thermostat, tell Google to make the music play in the den.
Yes. What about when you get that sinking feeling when you're on vacation?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's in a different room.
Yes.
Oh,
That's not the den.
Well, I thought that was like when they had the roaring fire.
Yeah,
and, okay.
all
right,
that.
just checking.
You could do everything with it.
She doesn't have kids. The room doesn't matter. When you get that sinking feeling on vacation, when you feel like you didn't lock your door or you didn't close the garage door, or something like that, I'm telling you, the smart home thing. Hey, that's a good one to talk about. Hey, thanks, Jaci Russo. 7:56 now at News Talk 96.5 KPEL.